You are currently the only person in this conference. You are currently the only person in this conference. You are currently the only person in this conference.
All ablaze as Russell tried to shut the storm. Red pulled him.
Hey everybody, it's Shane here. I'm just saying Julian's just running a bit late. He's actually just gathering some stats and stuff. So we'll probably be another couple of minutes and we'll get underway.
You know the day is going to night. Night divides the day. Try to run, try to hide. Break on to the other side. Break on to the other side. Break on to the other side. We can't stop breakers here. Don't got breakers there. No can stand the call. How we cry. Break on to the other side. Break on to the other side. I found an island in your arms, green in your eyes. On the train, on the line, bring on to the other side. Bring on to the other side. Bring on to out. Oh, yeah!
Hello, everybody. It's Julian here. Thank you for coming for our closing session. If I could ask our DJ to maybe kill our music. Wow. What can I say? It's been 4 days of action-packed, fun-filled, sleep-deprived, informative iMoot. I think we've got someone echoing me here. I'm just going to mute Vinny for a second. This session here, by the way, I'm going to bring you back in a sec. Just we'll get a fair bit of echo through there. And it is hatless, yes. I actually have to admit that when they say that middleman never sleeps, it's a lie. I actually have just come off a good 4 hours of sleep. On behalf of the entire iMoot team, I want to welcome you to our closing session of iMoot 2013. It's great to see so many of you made it. We always try and have a bit of fun with this. For those of you who haven't been here before, this is a bit of our chance to thank you and give you some of the background of what's been happening here. There's going to be a few of us talking. There's the hat. Yeah, it's at the office. I'm actually home because I actually had some sleep. How depressing is that? And I left the hat at the office. So thank you, Lindy, for showing the hat. The hat did indeed make it. So we're going to run this session. I've just got a few slides I want to go through. It's become a bit of a tradition that we have a bit of a by the numbers. And so I'm just going to start with that. And then going to hand over to Vinny, who, again, has really downplayed his role this year. Vinny has pretty much been the linchpin of getting iMoot running this year and has done a fantastic job. As those of you who run conferences or who are involved in conferences, online or off, you know, all that setup is what really makes it run when it's going. And so I'm actually going to highlight him right now. We're going to thank our whole team further on, but Vinny and I are going to kind of do this session. And just for the record, there's no plan to this. The reason I'm late is I quite literally just finished the slides. So I'm going to do some by the numbers and from there. But before I get started, there's one person I really would like to hand over to. Isn't that normal? No plan. How could you suggest such a thing, Teresa? Please keep this back channel active. Keep it talking. We want to have fun. This is a closing ceremony. I'd love to say I could hire, 15 performing gymnasts and 10 flying horses and a unicorn, but we just don't have the budget this year for that. Maybe next year. Before I go into our by the numbers presentation, what I would really like to do first is pass over to Shane Elliott. For those of you who aren't aware, Shane Elliott is actually the owner, director and beer of all things here at Pukunui, and he's greatly responsible also for this event happening. So I'm actually going to pass over to Shane first, who I think wants to do a few thank yous, and then we'll kick into some by the numbers. Shane, mic's all yours. Well, look, I'm just going to talk for a second while Shane sees if he can fix the microphone. It's all a best laid plan, isn't it? The technology has been working so brilliantly for the past 4 days. And all of a sudden we want to do a thank you and his microphone cuts out. Some people might say that was intentional, but not me. That I would not be one of those people. What you saw briefly behind him was some of the team, not all, but just some of the team that have been involved in bringing this iMoot to you. You know, as you can probably guess, the amount of work that goes into this kind of event is staggering. Even when Shannon and I first talked about this as an idea, I think about 5 years ago, this is our 4th iMoot. We always thought that, it's online, it'll be relatively easy to do. All we need to do is just put up a Moodle site and it will take care of itself. And of course it takes a lot more effort than that. Okay, he's back. Can we hear you?
Yeah, you probably can hear me now. If I talk, yeah. Hey everyone, I'm going to make this really quick. I've got a few announcements to make. Trying to duck this. Yeah, these are some of the guys at Pukunui in Perth here. Not all of us, but there's a few of us. It's still early-ish morning here. Hey, I just wanted to say, first of all, thanks to the Pukunui team, so the guys and all our officers, and especially the ones who kind of organised the iMoot. So let me say there's three that have really been doing the iMoot. So Julian, as you know, Vinny, whom you know, and the other person is actually Wendy, whom a lot of you would have spoken to via email. She organised all the schedules, and I guess she organised everyone else, actually. Organised Julian, organised me, organised Vinny. Wendy's actually taking the kids to school right now, the kids. So, yeah. So these guys have done an amazing amount of work, and they've done a lot of arguments. You can imagine getting people to agree on things. Yep, she needs to organise me. So they've done a fantastic job, and there's heaps of other people who've organised other things as well. So Leonie's probably a very obvious person. Some of you know her. She's been answering tickets, so there's been help desk support, and everyone else. So all of these guys. So this one's behind me, and Lindy and Susie and Meg and all of them have been jumping in there and helping and doing a lot of the stuff behind the scenes. So just to thank them, and a lot of them have been coming in. So I think Jim was here from 11 at night till 5 in the morning type thing. So they've been doing those odd hours just trying to help out behind the scenes. So thanks to them. I do want to thank, and he's not in here. Was Fred Dixon. The guys from Big Blue Button. Yeah, I normally do those days, Lindy, so yeah. But I do want to thank, now they are sponsors, and so Big Blue Button and Blindside Networks, that's the commercial kind of part of it. This is our 4th year. So first year we used Illuminate, which became Blackboard Collaborate, most of you know. Second and third year we used Adobe Connect, and that worked really well. And this year we're in Big Blue Button, and I've got to admit I was a bit hesitant about it, and Julian and Vinny all made the call on that, and I think good call. It has worked really well. There's been odd hiccups, but Fred and his team, most of you probably aren't aware because it's just work, but a few people have had problems. He's been on the phone pretty much 24 hours. They've been there. They've rung up people around the world just to get them working through their browser settings and so on. And so they've done an amazing job. So I was going to promote them and say, look, if you need Big Blue Button, if you can send work their way, use their service, whatever, that would just be great. Yeah, sure, Vinny, and that's fair enough. We should blame JR if it doesn't work. Hey, first thing to do is thank all the presenters. All of you have presented. It's been awesome. There's been some great presentations, and everyone's put in an amazing amount of work. And there's been people who are absolute experts in Moodle, and people who have just come in and just shared their stories. And that's been across the board, not just teachers. Priya, who's standing hard to point backwards on the camera. She presented just about development of Moodle, which was a great presentation, I thought. So people who wouldn't normally get to present. We're just doing coffee orders. How cool is that? So just thanking all the presenters. Fourthly, just want to thank everyone who participated this year too. Apart from all the other good things, I actually think this year's been good in terms of participation. People in the forums just chatting and getting along, and I've said this a lot of times, I actually think the power of any moot, whether it's face-to-face or the iMoot, is actually the networking you have with other people. And so just making those contacts. And I know I've been watching people saying, we'll catch up online, or, or on Twitter or something like that, and that is fantastic. That's what we want, that networking. So, connect, network. Just learning networks. We should have had Joyce here. Joyce Sightsinger. Anyway. Okay, a couple other things. I get to announce 2 things. It's good to be the boss because you get to announce two things. So first one is iMoot 2014. We are going to do it. Announce at the end. iMoot 2014. We mightn't do it, but I'll announce it at the end. Is that right, Julian? And the other announcement, Julian, should I wait for the end for that one as well? one we talked about. Okay, I've got 2 announcements. I'll wait to the end. In that case, I am done. Just basically a big thank you. In fact, I've got 3 announcements, but all for the end. Oh, man! Don't let me announce it out, Susie. Sorry, Julian, back over to you, buddy.
We've got to leave. We've got to leave them hanging. We've got to give them something to hold through. And yes, Lindy, this is exactly what happens when Pukunui has a cunning plan. So look, let's go through, this is a quick presentation. Again, keep the back channel happy. Feel free to add whatever you'd like. Let's go through and talk about this year's iMoot. So, what are we thinking about this year's iMoot? As I said, the theme this year was open, and I think everybody really embraced that to such a high degree. We had talk on open badges, we had talk on open resources, we've had talk on open source. It's been such a fantastic experience to see everybody talk so openly about what is really such an obvious theme. The challenge is going to be topping it. It's people, when you think about conference themes, put so much thought, and to have a one word that really united you all was such a fantastic experience. So, but of course, when we talk about open, you know, we couldn't have done it without the open source software. And as Shane mentioned, I'm kind of keen to highlight it, that we had such a fantastic experience with Adobe Connect the last couple of years. Those of you who've been with us will know it worked well. We didn't move away from it because of issues. It's just that something that's been a really big thing for me is that I'm a passionate open source person, and I really wanted iMoot to be fully open source powered. And to do that, I had to have, of course, the right software. Now, of course, Moodle 2.5, what can I say? Some of you said that we were brave, some of you said that we were mad, some of you said that we were inspirational. But either way, we chose to pretty much go with 2.5 on a large international Moot with lots of plugins pretty much the day it came out. To say that was an experience is an understatement, but it also shows that 2.5 is a fantastic, remarkably stable piece of software. It's held up extremely well. Obviously, through that, we got a new look and feel. One thing for people who have custom themes is that some things and themes have changed, and in my case, the theme that we've been using on the existing iMoot site broke, and I had 24 hours to come up with something new. So, part of that brave/stupidity element. But as I said, so the first tool, of course, that we had was Moodle, and it really shows just how extensible and how innovative the tool is when you really want to push it in different directions. And for those of you who are interested, this theme is actually being released to the community. It's already up in Moodle.org in the forums, called the Essential Theme. It's still a work in progress because it was literally written in about 6 hours, and it's full of bugs. In fact, I apologise for those of you who had a couple of weird issues. It was rather hastily put together, but the great thing is that we talk about the open source community. Already, some of the people in this room, I know Gareth has been helping, I think I saw Miriam's name earlier, are already adding code to it and helping fix bugs, and so we hope to have this released to the community in a stable condition probably in the next month or so. And as Shane mentioned, we can't go any further without talking about the most important part of this iMoot, which of course is the live component. And again, we used Big Blue Button, and I really am upset. I'm going to tell him off that Fred and Jesus and his gang aren't here, because Shane was hesitant. Again, we talk about how there were some debates and arguments. You know, part of my role here was technology. Vinny's been trying to get everything, set up in a process-wise, and Wendy's organising all these presenters. We'll come back to the challenge of that. But one of the things that kind of sat in my head was technology. And as I said, I really wanted to have an open source event. And I thought Big Blue Button was finally mature enough. And even then, for those of you who attended our first keynote, nobody could get in for about 10 minutes. And you should have seen me at that point. But again, we always have a couple of hiccups when you start, and yeah, we got them sorted, and to say it's been pretty much flawless since. So as mentioned earlier, the tool has been good. We're currently using a current version with a couple of new versions that Fred actually has been putting into the next release. He kind of snuck in early for us. I really would like to encourage you all, and I say this not because they're a sponsor, I really want to encourage you all after this experience, if you haven't really assessed Big Blue Button because you've thought it wasn't mature enough, hopefully this experience will have proven to you that really what a fantastic tool it is. And as Shane already said, Blindside are a sponsor, but this thank you does not come out of any form of forced endorsement. Every presenter who's worked with them, every attendee who had issues will certainly have found that the experience that Blindside provided us was beyond par and way above expectation, certainly from me. And so I thank them both as our technology sponsor, but just also legitimately, honestly, that this event could not have run nearly as well as it did without their support, and I'm just sad that Fred wasn't here to hear that. So, having talked about the technology, the fun thing about this presentation, what I like to do is I call it by the numbers, and because we go through, we talk about some of the incredible numbers that go behind this event. So let's start off with the first number. Of course, this year we had 6 stellar keynotes here listed in no particular order. But, Martin, Christina, Mike, Rebecca, Stuart and Ian all provided such fantastic and different styles of keynote. Obviously Martin got very excited about Moodle 2.5 and where Moodle is going. Mike was there with his keynote regarding the openness aspect. Ian is talking on MOOCs, Stuart in business, Rebecca from that more pedagogy aspect. And Christina, I'm also very thankful to come along because my second love to Moodle, and those of you who know me, and I've earned the name Moodle Man over the years. I love Moodle, but I can tell you, I have a second love. I have a little bit on the side, and that little bit on the side is Mahara. In fact, next year I will be speaking with Christina and Shiggy and the other passionate Mahara people here to find ways of including Mahara as part of a conference process, for collaborative working, for portfolio, for sharing. So next year there will certainly be a large Mahara element. It's just a matter of figuring out how to bring it into a conference setting. So again, hopefully you attended her keynote and got excited about digital portfolio. So thank you to all our keynotes. You really, of course, make this event something special. Of course, we had 73 awesome presenters, and now I can't fit all your photos on a slide. Those of you here as attendees, please give an applause. But no matter how much work the Pukunui team and supporters of iMoot put in, there is no way we could get an event as successful as this without the content. It is the presenters, as Shane mentioned earlier, that make this event what it is. We're just facilitators. We try and bring it all together. And I want to encourage you, look, 73 is a great number. We want more people. If you present at a local moot, the idea of iMoot was always to provide a stage that for those who presented at a local moot to be able to present that same presentation to a global audience. So if you see a fantastic presenter at a moot, or if you yourself do a fantastic presentation at a moot, please do consider presenting at iMoot. We would love to have you. Of course, around that we had 325 absolutely passionate attendees. Again, I've just chosen these at random. The great thing about Keynote on a Mac is I can click and drag pictures from the web. So just open up the forums, just grabbed a whole bunch of your avatars. So I'm not trying to highlight anybody particular here. But the presenters do a fantastic job, bringing us passionate and knowledgeable and insightful ideas. But then it's you, everybody here, the attendees. You have brought community. You have brought atmosphere. You have brought collaboration. You have really brought what makes the conference what it is. We could have fantastic presenters, but if they present to empty rooms, it doesn't really help anybody. So a big applause from the team here, and on behalf of all the presenters, to you, the audience. You're the reason that we're here and sharing our knowledge. So, and I'm glad to see Stuart mentions it. The back channel in iMoot is quite unique, be it the chat room on the side, or be it Facebook or Twitter. It is certainly one of the most interactive presenting environments, and it certainly is a change for many of the presenters to have that. So on behalf of all of us, and I don't just say us as organisers, but us as presenters, thank you very much for coming, your feedback, your interaction and your ideas. We had 105 live presentations this year. So I know we had said presenters, but as you know, me and them presented twice. On that schedule, not including the keynotes, if we include the keynotes, that goes up to 111. It's 105 individual presentations though, which means if you actually just put them end to end, we had 6 days of programming. I always love it, and we do get emails here, behind the scenes saying, "Oh, look, I'm not sure if it's worth it. I'm not sure what does the $80 really get me? Oh, I'm in America. That's going to cost me $81." Well, when we talk about this idea of 6 days of content for $80, I like to think it should really sell itself. So again, that's an astronomical number. And again, for those of you who haven't seen it, the support forums are talking about the replays. We do have full replays, everybody. Everything was recorded, including the screen sharing. The thing with Big Blue Button, and this is something that they're working on for us, is it does take a while to convert. So what we actually had to choose to do is for that immediate replay that you've been seeing, yes, the screen shares are missing because it was just going to take too much time to render it. However, over the next couple of weeks, we have captured everything. The full replays will be being created, and just make sure you keep an eye on your email or keep an eye on our news area, because as soon as they get done, and we're going to release them as they come through, they'll be there. And this is an open conference, and so we try and release everything Creative Commons where we can. We'll be honest, this event costs money to stage, both with people and resources and hardware. So what we do is we keep these presentations inside the iMoot site for the first 12 months, and after that we release them to the world where the presenters have allowed us to. So just so you know, keep an eye, and but yeah, everything's captured. And there's that question being asked everywhere. That'll be up soon. So 6 days of content. Mental. And let's talk about this back channel. 2,217 unique tweets. So I'm not including retweets in that. That is just, and look at the graph. It's constant. We have a couple of lulls in between areas, but it's been a constant stream, which again, as organisers, we get excited about, because it meant that you're constantly being engaged. People weren't dropping out. It was just fantastic to see. And on top of those 2,217, there was also 800 retweets, which means if we do a total, we had over 3,000 tweets out there. For those of you who are twits, thank you. It is nice to have many twits like you. And of course, badges, badges, badges. Now this, to be honest, and I'm going to say from my perspective here, when we chose to go to 2.5, I'm proud to see so many of you found that video. When we went to 2.5, I was very keen to put badges in there, but I never expected the take-up to be the way that it was. It was just absolutely incredible. You all went nuts, and we enjoyed watching you go nuts. I know that Shane and Susie here as part of the team started creating more badges on the fly. I know that many of the presenters started creating badges on the fly, and it was just fantastic. I know that many of you have it. Please, if you haven't got yourself a backpack yet, set yourself up a backpack. Keep your badges. Don't lose them. And that way, especially if you come back next year. What am I saying if? When you come back next year, you'll start be able to collect your badges, and then we'll be able to do it. Now, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do this yet, but I'm thinking I might set up a forum. If you want a badge for a previous year's attendance, I'm happy to issue them. Obviously, it's going to take some work and some time, but we'll set up a forum, I think, and that way you can tell us what years you've been to in the past. I think we'll have to put a bit of an honesty system in there, but that way you can then start keeping a collection for events that you've attended. So yeah, those badges. We had 32 official ones, but there was also about 20 or so ones created by presenters. The mojito. Funny you should mention that. And of course there is the one elusive mojito badge. Yes, the mojito badge does exist. This is the reward for everybody. For those of you who aren't familiar with the story, mojito is the drink of Moodle Moots. There are various stories behind how it started. The one I hear most is that Martin Duyamis and Penny Leach are the ones most directly responsible for this tradition, but it does go global. Yeah, Stuart, the reason we have so many mojitos is to forget the stories. The way you get your mojito badge is that we really want to get your feedback. So once you provide feedback inside the session space that you've been here, there's buttons for feedback and getting your certificate. Once you've provided feedback, you'll unlock your mojito and finally get to unwind at the end of this conference. Mr. Langhoff was involved. That would not surprise me. All right. And of course, as I said, for those, there were so many Doctor Who references, I couldn't help but do this. It's iMoot. Whatever you do, get a badge. I couldn't help but put this in, more importantly, because I think the Weeping Angels would probably give up by the time they got to their next badge. So you can see this poor Weeping Angel here has finally found her Who badge and has collapsed. I couldn't help but put this in. I've always been surprised. The moment there was a Doctor Who badge, which I don't remember, I think it was either Susie or Shane's idea. We put that out there, and then all of a sudden, the geekness arose from many of you. And next thing we know, we had Blake Seven and Doctor Who and Star Trek. And for those of you who missed Anthony Borrow's presentation, full of Borg references, it was fantastic. It's what makes this event so much fun. So yes, next year I can't wait to see what we can come up with. And we're going to start brainstorming as a team here to think of how many more badges we can create for you. And again, give us your ideas. There are forums out there for a reason. Let us know. Nearly at the end, obviously the next important thing is that we have created a certificate to everybody. And again, I have rigged this. Please be aware you are not able to get your certificate again until you've given feedback. It's your feedback that allows us to make this a better event, and we really want to hear from you so we can continue to make each iMoot better than the last. There are actually 2 certificates. Obviously, in this main course area, there is one here for attendees, but if you're a presenter as well, it comes with a special presenter badge that recognizes you as a presenter. So please make sure you grab those. And of course, support us through the store. This is an absolutely shameless plug. Again, iMoots cost money. We try and keep costs as low as we can. The idea for us is to minimize the cost to attendees so that we can make it as cheap and as open as possible. We would really love this event to be free once we can do it. If we can get enough sponsors on board to cover costs, if the shop makes enough money, I'd love to see that happening, but at the moment we're not there. So help support us. Again, because badges were so popular, we've gone with a badge theme. So you can just get an attendee or presenter, but there's also the badges. There's a stuck around badge. There's a well caffeinated mug. There's the written off stationery. There's a T-shirt or Holic shirt. Feel free to go through. It supports us. It lets you have a cool memento of the event, and hopefully helps everybody. More importantly, when people walk past your desk and go, "What did you stick around for?" or "What have you written off?" maybe it's a little opening to tell them about the fantastic event that you've been to and spread the word. So that's the numbers. And now is the drum roll. Now is the time that Shane gets to make his big announcement. So I'm going to turn off my camera, pass to Shane, and then I'm sure Vinny has a few words he wants to say as well.
Big drum roll, yes. And the big announcement is, as a surprise to Julian, is next year we're going to do 200 hours of iMoot. 8 days. I think that would kill him. Hey, okay, I've got not bad announcements. No one wants to know that. Alrighty, I do. I have 3 announcements. First one is iMoot 2014. It is going to happen. So we are we had a quick discussion. We're going for about the same time of year. So it'll be May in 2014. The dates we're playing with are the 15th to the 18th of May, but we will confirm those. Just because you probably realise there's a lot of public holidays around the world at different countries, and we try to juggle it best we can. I know we hit a major one this weekend for some people. So, yeah, Pukunui staff also announcing there'll be no leave during May, or the month before. So, that's the first announcement. So, yeah, we're definitely doing iMoot next year. Second announcement is that there has been some discussion about mini-moots, and we've talked about that for about 2 years. And the 2 people who actually started this conversation with me aren't in here. That was Carrie and Natalie. Now, just to explain, the past 2 years we've been thinking it'd be great to have just an iMoot server that's community-driven, and that we wouldn't organise, we'd just provide the kind of technical support for it. And the idea was maybe every month or every 2 weeks, people might just be one session. You could get a guest speaker along and invite people, and then we could use that to run into the main iMoot. The problem we've had is we've never had a good video conferencing software we could link up to that, because while we're sponsored for the iMoot, we couldn't get sponsorship for just running a mini iMoot. However, Big Blue Button's kind of come of age, so it's now a completely possible idea, and we're going to go for it. We actually have the mini iMoot site is already set up, it just didn't have the video conferencing hooked up to it. So we will get that done. There will be 10 people who will look after that, so wait for the announcement, we'll get that done. And really it's just a big online user group. That's what that will be. Final announcement. This is probably the big one, at least from my point of view, anyway. There's Dom in the background. Oh, they're all. Happy birthday, Gareth! And 42, the whole. Anyway, such an important birthday. Well, I've got an announcement to make, and it's that this year we decided we want more community involvement leading up to the next one. And we thought we want some iMoot ambassadors. And so the team here, we had a vote, and we thought, we're trying to think about 2 people that were just really involved in the iMoot, kind of promote it, get involved as much as possible. And 2 names, the team, we kind of took a vote, and it was actually unanimous. We just did it, we didn't know each other's names, we just suggested who we thought would be it. And we came up with 2 names. And one is, I need a drum roll somehow. Oh, yeah. Oh, hang on, before I do this, I was thanking Julian, Vinny, and this is Wendy.
Nice.
So she's the events coordinator here, so has been coordinating.
Nice to meet you all. I was just going to say, it's very nice to meet you all, considering I've probably spoken to you by email 1,000 times. So lovely to meet you all.
There we go. So it's all about, we've got 2 iMoot ambassadors for the year, and they will help us promote iMoot. They'll be on the team, they'll make decisions. It's not that we're telling them what to do, they'll be part of the team. So the first one is Ms. Teresa Gibbison. Never say your name correctly. So Teresa is our first iMoot ambassador, and the second person is Gareth Bernard. What a clapping happened behind me. And so I have warned them, and they kindly said they'll take it on. And that's not to say no one else can get involved. We just thought we wanted 2 people who have been involved in iMoot since pretty much the beginning, who we know work with us and so on, and basically do help us facilitate things. They just do it very quietly. So that's my big announcement. And and they'll probably regret that decision, regret saying yes, but yeah. Probably, that's probably how we did gauge it, Mary. I think we should have done like a Miss Universe competition. We should have had nominees and gone through the rounds, and yeah, this year's winner and the runner-uppers in case they default, and so on. So that's it. Yes, squirrel. Yeah, that's right, Teresa. You should be asking. So, Julian, I'm going to hand back over to you. I don't know if we've got mojitos all lined up. Oh, by the way, I haven't told Wendy about the iMoot next year.
Oh.
And the mini iMoot.
Oh.
Shh. Thank you, Julian.
Well, to be honest, I don't have anything else to add apart from you've heard a thank you from all of us. Obviously, a personal thank you from me as well, and for everybody on this team. We've been overwhelmed as always. I did want to ask if Vinny wanted to say a few words. Again, he's been so much behind the scenes, but yet so instrumental to this year's success. Vinny, did you want to add anything?
No. Thank you.
Oh, come on. You have to have something to add. Everybody, you can turn on your cameras. Let's see if we can crash the server on the final day.
That was it from me. Excellent. No, everything that I was going to say is already. It's just lovely being able to be part of such an awesome community. So yeah, that's it from me.
Well, here everybody starts to come in. It's interesting to see if we can test the load of how this server's going to go. Look, that's the end of formal proceedings. Thank you everybody for coming. Thank you everybody for participating, for contributing, for collaborating, for uniting. All those key elements that we focus on so strongly at iMoot. We really hope to see you next year. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I hope you got some sleep. I'm going to have to take a photo of this. This is going to be madness. But yeah, no, we hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, thank you very much. That is the end. That is the end of formal iMoot 2013. Excuse me as I go to sleep.
I don't know how many people are left, but let me also say, postcards. Send them postcards. Gareth sent us one. He's trying to start something, so I've probably missed a lot of people now who've left. But send them postcards. And I'll chuck a few addresses in. We've got offices all over the place. Yeah, tell me we can collect before next year. I will do. Thank you, iMoot Ambassador. First job, guys, you have to collect the postcards. Wendy's got it. From Gareth. There you go. That was from. Oh, that's for this year. So we need a wall of these for next year. Cool. I'm done.
Thanks, guys. See you all around.
You are currently the only person in this conference.